Hello, everyone. Welcome to another virtual episode of Michael's Corner. Um, Tonight, I am bringing in my guest that I brought in last Friday. No, last Thursday or Friday. I am going to bring in one half of Indie Talk, Jesse, and we're going to continue on our conversation what we had Thursday, Thursday of last week. So before I bring on my guest, um, be sure to follow me on social media: Facebook, Michael's Corner; Twitter is at Michael Pam; and YouTube is Michael's Wrestling Channel. Okay, so be sure to follow me on all of my social media pages. I am going to try my attempt to bring in Jesse. So give me 1 second, you guys.
Hey, what's going on, Michael?
How's it going?
Uh, Not too bad. Can't complain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is going good on my end. I just got done binge watching Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. The first,
Ah,
so that's why it took me so long.
well, that's fine. That's fine. The American Bash is going on tonight too by NXT, so
Hmm.
I'll probably do that later.
Yeah, me too. I can watch that later. But anyways, I I want to talk about. I want to bring up a subject
Sure.
that's been blowing up on Twitter and social
Mhm.
media. So basically, Tyra Valkyrie is getting a lot of backlash from her performance against with Dr. Britt Baker,
Oh, yep,
DMD,
yep.
match she had last Wednesday on AEW's Dynamite.
Hmm.
So she's getting a lot of backlash, and she's sending out this tweet about you know all these fans calling her all different kinds of names, and I'm not gonna even I'm not gonna even mention what these fans said about. I mean, these trolls
Yep.
say said about Tyra Valkyrie being, body shaming her, calling her the B words and all of that, and finally respond. And it is never okay to bully any wrestler. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what, you know. Tyra Valkyrie is a great wrestler. She's been champion across the world.
Right.
And I want to talk about that subject for a
All right.
minute, because this needs to be talked about, you know.
Well, on my end of it, I guess I really didn't read about it, but yeah, I did hear that there was some kind of issue, and I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but it seems to be like the people that are getting online and making these tweets, they would be called Britt Baker fans.
Yeah, or basically, like I said, I'll just call them trolls or naysayers because they ain't got nothing else to do other than sit on their behinds and going on their little computers and saying whatnot because they don't got anything else to do but to bring people down.
Right.
That's not what this the wrestling business and community is all about. It's all about lifting each other up, being there for each other through thick and thin.
Yep.
That's what it's
Absolutely
all about.
right.
It's about brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yep.
Hmm.
I mean, I think people kind of forget about that it's just something to entertain everybody. It's not meant to be taken serious,
Hmm.
but there are some people out there who take it pretty serious. So.
Yeah, and that it can that just takes the fun out of wrestling. And one person said, and it's like I don't have to call anybody out, but that's what one person on Twitter says. They like to suck the fun right out of wrestling.
Yep.
And that's not what this is all about. And so I think those naysayers and needs to be educated. They need to be educated and teach a thing or two about respect.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the word that's been used a lot, not just in the wrestling community and business.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. My thought of point or my thought of view on that is, if you're gonna get online and start picking at a certain individual, like Taya or any other wrestler, do your homework on them first, because you might be looking like a fool when you're getting on there and typing your views or report on this person. So do your homework before you start trashing them.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what's wrong with people now. They at the end of the day, people are still gonna judge you. They can still like to be politically correct.
Yeah. Yep.
So you just gotta you just gotta take, you know, sometimes sometimes what you gotta do is you just gotta roll with the punches and go with the flow and ignore those naysayers and trolls and just move on.
Right.
Just move forward because you know, this world would be a whole lot better if people just ignore the negative people and just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, and everything will be okay. You know?
Agreed. Um, See, that's just a issue too, Michael. With that, if people don't have nothing better to do but to get on the wrestling site or any site and just make it really, really negative for others who enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know something? I mean, one of these days, some promoters going to take a look at that, and they have the right to block you if you're going to go on there, say their promotion or and whatnot. They do have the right, and being on social media is a privilege, not not a right. It's a privilege that can be taken away if that person is getting out of line.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
Yep. Too many people get online, and my feelings on that is they abuse it.
And yeah, and they gotta suffer the repercussions and whatnot. So
Yep. Absolutely.
So last night there was the MAW show.
Yep.
I heard it was a great show. I saw photos and pictures on Facebook, and I heard it was a great show. Wrestling action was great, and that's what I like to hear.
Are you talking about the show with Dustin Rhodes?
Yes.
Yep. I've seen pictures today.
I unfortunately was unable to come due to transportation issues.
Right.
So I would have loved to have been part of that, or otherwise we would have been. Otherwise, we'll have a different conversation and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this topic about Tyra Valkyrie being bullied online, and I suffered. I've been bullied online almost getting close to 3 months, 3 months ago.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I know how it's like, I know how it's like to be bullied. And you know how I stood up to those naysayers and trolls. I said, if they want to talk shit about me, because here's the thing, that's going to only make my brand grow even more. That's right. And I've been doing this I've been interviewing wrestlers for a decade, for over a decade. And I heard a whole lot of crap.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just gotta, as the reason why my show has been so successful is because I try not to let those naysayers and those trolls get under my skin.
Right.
And like I said, I have brought in a couple of wrestlers on my show, and we hash things out, and we apologize. Well, I apologize to them for, this and that. And if you go back and watch my interview that I did with Jaden Roller about 3-4 years ago, we kind of made amends, and I apologize to him for the stuff that I said about him when he was being accused, when he was being bullied online. So I encourage you to just go back, go on my YouTube channel and watch that interview, because what I did with Jaden Roller about 2-3 years ago. And we made amends, and I apologize.
Yep.
And that's the same thing I did with John Timothy of State of Pro. I brought him on, and I apologize. We both apologize. So, and that's the reason why my show has been such a success, is because I tell it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to be real. And that's the thing, and whatnot. So now let's continue on with our conversation from Thursday. And
Yes, sir.
so we left off. I'm sorry, that's my neighbor's horn, so no
No.
control over that. Please, they're not playing loud music, so
Oh, is
yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah. So anyhow, we was talking about the AEW video game, and whatnot.
Yes.
And, I like the game and whatnot. It needs to have a patch update so that it can be much better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I've been playing wrestling video games my entire life,
Yep.
and they tell good story. They tell a good story. That's what the thing, and that's really important, is telling story. If you're gonna make a wrestling video game, you gotta be able to tell a story. You know,
Right. Yep.
Their version, and not copy what we already see on television.
Yep.
Kind of like their version. So now, the only thing I didn't like was the WWE 2K20 video game, and I didn't like their storylines too much because I thought it was kind of corny and like high school crap. So
That game,
I
that
didn't.
WWE 2K20, that was, I thought that was the worst game. I mean, graphic wise, it wasn't good. When you look at the creates, it wasn't, that wasn't even good. So,
Yeah,
um,
that wasn't even good at all.
I
And
was,
and people, it was so bad. Even people were asking for their money back, because how bad that game was. They said no, and I said to myself, once WWE 2K22 video game came out, I was going to delete that WWE 2K20 in its entirety,
yeah,
because
that, that,
I, that
that game was bad.
that was really bad, and and it and I gotta admit, WWE 2K22, they made a complete turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when they did it, they made a complete turnaround. And I can say the same thing about 2K23. I'm really liking it.
I mean, with, yeah, I was very amazed at how well the WWE franchise were able to turn their games around. I mean, it started with 22 and then 23. So, I mean, and I'm still playing 23.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the graphics are fun. You can do your own drafting. And I mean, what people don't realize that when they're playing games, or like when they're playing wrestling games, you can tell your own stories, and that's
That's
what I
right.
like. That's what I like about it, is that you can tell your own stories.
Yeah. And you can set up how long you want your rivalry to be.
Yep.
Ooh, I'm telling you, I have tried that, and oh my God, I looked at, I played the universe mode.
Mm-hmm.
I play the universe mode. I go into, the weekly rivalries and whatnot after, the premium live event.
Right.
Oh my God. It, some of it was gone, but others had just stayed on. And I was like, oh my God. Well, I like this. They made a complete change on the universe mode. I love it. I play it just about every time I play 2K23. I just go straight to the universe mode, and I was like, oh my God. So
Because you're the
now,
one that gets make the story the way you want it. Have you played the GM mode yet?
yes, I have, and let me tell you, it's a challenge, but I love the challenge. You know, you
I mean,
get
it's
on your show and whatnot. It feels like SmackDown versus Raw again. That's
yeah,
what you can set up matches. You can do this. And what's so great about the My GM is you got all this money. Okay, you can draft as many superstars you want until, but you don't want to run out of money because you still want to have money
yep,
to run the show. So you don't want to draft too many superstars at once, because once your money is gone, you're basically out of luck.
yep,
You have to single matches and all that crap, and and then you got to try to get that money back, and so oh my God, it's like I just like how WWE games turn that all around,
yep.
and I'm just quite amazed. Now, what I am the most amazed of is when we gotta talk about my ride. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you played that, but oh my God, Justin, I was completely blown away. There's one for the women and there's one for the men. Oh my God. I'm telling you, they did such a great job. I'm playing it twice or three times.
Yep.
Holy bucket. And I get to, and you know something? The storylines are such, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good storyline, And I'm going to continue to play that until, WWE 2K24. Who knows? That will be even more better,
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like it when every year they switch things around or try to improve stuff a little bit. But
Right.
there are some improvements that I want to see in 2K in the next franchise game.
Mm-hmm.
You know how these wrestlers, these superstars, use the chokehold.
Mm-hmm.
But the referee just say, "Let that go. Let it release. 1, 2, 3, 4." That's what they need to do.
They need
And
to bring that feature back into the games again.
yeah,
Make the referees more realistic.
yeah, make it more realistic. Make it, you gotta be able to tell a story. Let that go of the hole. 1, 2, 3, and you can hold that because as a heel, they need to improve the control system. Like
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want it, they say rope break, and you can choose. If you don't want to break that hole, can hold like like right analog or left analog, and you can just hold it until the referee says 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got to do it before you get disqualified. Because that's how I want the game to be more realistic, you know. And also too, when these superstars like is straight out, you know,
Right.
them to fall. And they just I want the referees to start counting. 1, 2. Make it more real, and, you know, make it more real so that I can really get into it. So I know that they're gonna work on that. Maybe on the next patch update with the 2K23.
Yep.
But more than that, hopefully when 2K24 comes out next year, I like over the fact that their games are gonna come out before WrestleMania, because that's actually good, because then that'll give them more time to actually scan the superstars, what their moves are and whatnot, because it's a lot. You know, WWE pays millions and millions of dollars to make sure, you know, they're playing the best video game. And you're supposed to be, and when my thoughts on when that 2K20 came out, I said it. You're supposed to be this multi-million-dollar company. I know you can make that game way better than that. And I feel that they should at least remake 2K20. At least remake it again. So then that way, it's even more better than that old version. But that's just my opinion. They can always remake 2K20 and then just, you know, take it from there. But you know what? Who I am to think it's like, you know what? There's always improvement. There's always a new game and whatnot. So, and I can say the same thing about AEW, but forever video game. It's the first video game. Of course, people's gonna have opinions about it, but I think it's a great game. Especially when it's the barbed wire deathmatch. I kind of like that. So just give AEW a chance, you know, give them a chance. And their storyline, okay, maybe there needs to be improvement on that. But it's their first game. Just let them, you know, there's always going to be the next version, the next video game, maybe Fight Forever 2, you know. You never know. So it could be better than it was. That's how a video game is supposed to be like. Because when I first got my WCW video game and first WWE video game, I thought it was a little but all in all, it's just that, you know, it's up to the company on where they want this video game to go. And I've been the WWE video games for 20, 30 years, you know, so I know how they operate and whatnot. So, but anyhow, yeah, like I said, we talked about MAW. There was a show yesterday. And with Dustin Rhodes, and that was a great show. That's why I like to hear. So, so now, how do you feel about being on here the second time. I bet Jaron is jealous.
Well, you know, Michael. Let's talk about Jaron here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Jaren's on a family vacation right now, and joke. And I always joke about this. I don't know if you've seen the video that's out there of him getting super kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had to take this family vacation so he could ponder what he's gonna do. So
Well, I said this before. I like Jaron.
yeah,
Jaron, he's become one of my good friends and whatnot. We hang out and whatnot, and I recently saw him at an MIW show this month, so
yep.
that was good. Yeah, Jaron is an all-out great guy. He's a great guy.
He sure is.
If anybody messes with him, you're messing with me, because you guys have gone out of your way to make sure that you guys invite me on your podcast. I invite you to my podcast. So it's a win-win situation.
Well, yeah, and my thing with that is like we work with you, you work with us,
Mm-hmm.
and then I mean it's good all around. And I'm seeing more and more podcasts do that now, starting to work together.
That's right, and that's what I like both podcasts working together, And like I said about I work with State of Pro Wrestling, and Freddie invites me to his live streams and whatnot, and we just talk. We just talk about wrestling related, and I told him, I said, you should go back to that, because then like 2 years ago, so then that way we can talk about anything that we want. We can talk about wrestling, we can talk about this, because let me tell you something. Freddie, he convinced me to get a microphone, that's made for smartphones, so that when I do interview wrestlers while I'm on the road,
right?
All I have to do is plug it into my phone, and then I have my assistant and friend Sean now film episodes of Michael's Corner. Then I just start talking and whatnot, and I do watch the replay, and let me tell you, it sounds so much better. I mean,
right.
You can still hear, the background noise, but at least you can hear us, because we got the microphone,
Yep.
And the one thing I like about that microphone too is it kind of blocks out the background noise a little bit. So that's another thing I like. You hear a little background noise, but it kind of blocks the background noise, so that you can at least hear us,
Right.
And I try to, adjust the volume so that it's even,
Yep.
So that's when I first got it, I forgot to adjust the volume. So now I'm working. So now that I'm learning how to do that, now I know what to do. So in that way, everybody can hear. and I listen um to my YouTube audience, and um, they suggest that I get a phone stand. Guess what? I got myself a phone stand. They suggested that I get a microphone. Guess what I did?
Went down microphone.
So it's all about listening to your audience, your YouTube audience, your because they are the most important, and that's the reason why Michael's Corner is going to keep getting bigger because because I listen to my YouTube audience. I listen to my audience. I listen to my fans. And you know what? I listen to my family and friends. I take suggestions and whatnot. I may not be able to respond back, but I do see the comments. I go on this YouTube Studio app. I want to tell them about that for a minute.
Yeah.
I can tell. I can tell. I can see not only how many reviews I got from that video. Yes, what just I can also see if I can also see from that YouTube Studio app where people are rewinding or fast forwarding videos, my videos.
Yep.
If you fast forward my videos to that, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know, it's okay, you know, because I'm telling people I go onto this YouTube Studio app every day instead of just going on to the YouTube app of the main app. I can just go on to the Studio app, and that's where I look at the percentage and whatnot. So,
Yep.
and oh my God, you know. So,
Well, yeah, there's a lot of great things out in the out there for podcasters that want to get started doing what they're doing. So, I mean, I would suggest that any that's going to do a podcast, do your work. Just don't decide that, oh, that looks fun, I think I'm going to do it. Because if you don't know what you're doing, then you only hurt yourself and your product.
that's right. That's right. And sometimes, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, because when
Absolutely.
I first started doing this a decade ago, you know, was I was nervous? Yeah. Yes, I was a little nervous, and, you know, that's how I got my start. When I was interviewing this one wrestler, well, actually three wrestlers,
Yep.
a decade ago, I mean, I was nervous and whatnot, and you know, that's how I got my start. And
Yeah.
and you know, and ever since then, I grew. I grew as a podcaster and interviewer, I should say.
Yep.
I grew, and then once that pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and once that pandemic hit, it canceled everything.
Oh,
Wrestling,
yeah.
yeah. So, and then on top of that, I was beginning to lose subscribers on YouTube. So I have to say to myself, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
Because I'm losing my subscribers. I'm losing almost everything. So I decided to start my own. I decided to myself, you know what? I am going to create an Instagram account.
Right.
And that's what I did. I created an Instagram account, and I started to post old photos of me that I took with the wrestlers until I read it all out.
Yeah.
Until and then I started to do, it was in 2021, that's when I started to, that's when I started doing virtual interviews, you know,
Stop.
and I that's when people, wrestlers just loved it. All I need to do is give them a platform because wrestling shows were pretty much canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to, YouTube and Facebook wasn't going to do it. So I figured, let's try going on Instagram. So I created an Instagram account. I started doing my virtual interviews, and the rest is history. And ever since then, I just said, I like doing doing these virtual interviews and whatnot, because then I'm giving the wrestlers a platform, and I'm giving them a chance to tell their stories. So once everything starts opening back up, I can start interviewing the wrestlers in person.
Right.
But all in all, Jesse, I just love doing both. I can do it virtually. I can do it in person. In person is really fun because now I got the microphone and everything else.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. So, yeah. Now the next wrestling shows that I'm going to is that MAW Summer Heat 2 show, which features Devon Douglas.
Right.
And that's going to be at Eden Prairie, Minnesota, at the Fat Pants Brewery in now. So I know it has a funny name, but that's what they named it. So don't ask me. And then there's a lot going on in the month of August.
Yeah.
I'm going to that Rudo production show on August 19th. August 19th. And then on the 20th, August 20th, I'm going to that 1029 Bar Show in Northeast Minneapolis. That's the biggest show of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely going to be there. And then on the 26th, I believe, is that All Out Pro Wrestling Show in somewhere in Wisconsin that I'm going to. So I'll be going to about 3 or 4 wrestling shows for the month of August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still plenty of summertime wrestling to be had.
Yeah. And I'm pretty excited, I'm pretty excited about it, Once I return to MAW, I was at Fan Fest this month, so like I said, once once I go to that next event, Summer Heat 2 show, the rest is going to be history. And I'll be in Michael mode. I I'll be tackling at my favorite heel wrestlers. But I am disappointed that the system is not on the poster, so kind of disappointed about that. But I'll find somebody to pick on. Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing with the system right now, I noticed he's been doing a lot of the Pinnacle Pro shows now.
Mm-hmm.
Pinnacle is, I think,
yeah,
is a new.
Pinnacle Pro Wrestling. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of those. So, Oh, and not to mention, he made his return to AWS not long ago.
And he is the new TV champion.
Yes, he is.
And the member of the program.
Oh shit! Why you gotta break this news? It's like, oh Lord! I thought Petey Brown said him out of AWS. You know how the system is.
Michael, you gotta look at it this way too. JJ Rogue has money. But who was the one that took the money? Was it Petey or was it Tony?
Who the hell is he trying to be? Like Ric Flair? Is he trying to be styling and profiling?
I think Jesse and Michael need to do a little investigating on how the system got back into the AWF.
Yeah, we got to do that because I don't know how the hell he pulled that stunt off. Speaking of AWF, I'm making my plans to return to AWF because I would like to get the full-on scoop of how that system got back in AWL.
Well, we're gonna have to. Me and you are gonna have to do a little investigating, and then when the time is right, we're gonna have JJ Rogue on a special edition of Indy Talk / Michael's Corners.
Yeah.
And we'll find that out, Michael, to why the system is back.
And you know what? And let's not forget, I gotta bring Bill Williams on my virtual episode of Michael's Corner because I got his poster, his 8x10 poster up on my closet door, and I have to show that to him. Because remember you said that if I give you that 8x10 photo, I need to be on top.
Yeah. I remember that.
I said, and I'm gonna send him a little, on Facebook Messenger, you can send out a voice clips, and you can send like longer voice clips on Messenger. I can actually do that now. So I want him, so he can play it and he can hear my voice. It's by calling him, but actually it's vice versa.
Right.
It's the other way around. So I've been doing that little setting voice clips a lot towards, I think, you and a few other people. Right. And they like it when I do it because they like it when I do it. So yeah, I will have to I'll get a hold of Bill Williams and whatnot. So
yeah.
All right. Well, let's end this live stream. That's all we we need to talk about. We talked about what happened with Tyra Zachary being bullied. We talked about MAW show yesterday, and we talked about, the video games and stuff, and we talked about Sharon. So I think that's all I got for this episode.
Yeah.
Tell fans where they can follow Indy Talk and all that.
Okay, you can follow Indy Talk on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram as well at Jesse Laganiere. Same as with Jaron for Jaron Peel. And we do have a YouTube page. All you do is go ahead and type in Indy Talk, and you can find almost all of our episodes on that.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys, we're about to head out. So you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Michael's Corner.
All right. Thank you, Michael.